last night we got to see a couple good basketball games. I'll talk about them right now. My Golden State Warriors lost on the road to Utah, the tanking Utah Jazz. Funny enough, it was a pretty solid all-around game for the Warriors outside of the fact that our starting lineup could not hit a three-pointer. Like Quinton Post, 0 for 6 from 3. Guy Santos, 1 for 7. Draymond, I mean, if they're going to leave Draymond open, he's going to shoot and he's going to miss. It kills me. Gary Payton missing a lot. LJ Cryer off the bench missing a couple. Pat Spencer missing a lot of shots. We just couldn't hit our threes specifically late in the game. It really hurt us not being able to hit our threes and defensive stops late in this game. But overall, I was really impressed with a couple minutes in this one. I watched a decent amount of minutes from this one as a Warriors fan. LJ Cryer, I know he missed a couple of threes late. It continues to really, really impress me. From the minutes he's given us off the bench, being kind of a no-name guy coming out of nowhere. LJ Cryer playing very good basketball for us. He was actually one of only 2 players in the entire game with a positive plus-minus. So shout out to him. But the Warriors, until we get Steph Curry back, we're going to keep losing games because we got out-rebounded, killed on the glass. Whether it was, I know Quinton Post and Guy Santos, Przemski has a good rebounding game, but in terms of actual center rebounding, I mean, Kyle Filipowski getting 15 rebounds on us is unexcusable. John Conchar running into the paint to get 10. Kevin Love giving him 8 in 15 minutes. Oscar giving them 8 in 20 minutes. Like, it's just so bad, the rebounding and the size mismatches that we gave up in this one. And then our fourth quarter late execution, I was just very disappointed in it. Steve Kerr just, I know we don't have the upper echelon talent to be a good team right now, but we should be beating a team like Utah, man. We should be able to go into Utah and beat a team like this. We should be able to get a couple more rebounds. We had a lot of assists, which is always a good recipe. And we had no turnovers, which is a good thing. But just our defensive impact wasn't there, and our defensive rebounding really was not there in comparison. And we lost this game by 3 points to Utah. In a battle of Eastern Conference, which might be a game we see in the playoffs or a 7-game series, the Cavaliers beat the Philadelphia 76ers 115-101. This game really became out of hand in the second and third quarter when, James Harden and Evan Mobley and Donovan Mitchell, they didn't really have to do much, but they took over in those middle quarters. They locked up really well defensively, but at the same time, the 76ers lineup of Cameron Payne starting. I mean, look at this lineup that they're running out. Cameron Payne, Quentin Grimes, Kelly Oubre, Adem Bona, and Dominic Barlow. I mean, just terrible. Terrible. With no Maxey, no PG, no Embiid, no VJ. You're not going to win many games. I hate to say it, but the Sixers aren't going to win many games if they have no one playing. So Cavs took advantage of that, had a good defensive game, won that one. In my surprising game of the night, the Nets beat the Memphis Grizzlies. I thought it was funny that Michael Porter Jr. went on a podcast recently and said, man, we got to fix tanking. There's something so wrong with tanking. When your team, in the nicest way possible, is one of the ones that really is tanking in a way. But they really found a way to come out of this game. Ochai Agbaji, 18 points on 8 of 9 shooting. I'd love to see him develop himself in a place like Brooklyn. Day'Ron Sharpe off the bench, 19 points. Zaire Williams, 11 points off the bench. Nolan Traore continues to impress me as the lead guard over there in Brooklyn. Only 23 minutes was weird. I feel like he should be getting more. If Ben Seraph is going to get you 25 minutes and really do nothing, just keep giving Nolan Traore good minutes. But if he can hit his shots, he's going to be one of those sleeper guys. He's going to be one of those sleeper guys in upcoming draft classes because he's solid. He is a solid player. If he can hit his threes, he's a good facilitator, smart with the basketball, and if he can make himself a threat on the perimeter, it's going to attract the defense more and open up the game even more for him. But Brooklyn, can't believe they won this game, but when you look at the Memphis Grizzlies lineup, I mean, they're running an 8-man rotation, and it's literally because of injuries. It's not because they're resting guys. It's literally because of injuries. Cedric Howard, Taylor Hendricks, Brandon Clark, Ty Jerome, John Morant, all out with injuries. Zach Edey out with injury. Triple J traded. So you're running Ryan Rupert, Walter Clayton, and Javon Small the whole game. Terrible game. Terrible game overall. Nothing I'm really excited to see. Shout out to SGA in one of the return games for Aaron Gordon. Has a very, very solid game. 23 points, 10 rebounds. Exactly what Denver needed. Denver needed to show they could keep up with a team like OKC, and they did. They shot really well, specifically off the bench. Tim Hardaway Jr. I mean, how much do I have to rave about Tim Hardaway Jr. to you guys for him to continue impressing me off the bench? I mean, Cam Johnson continues to kind of be a negative asset defensively. And if he's not hitting his shots, he's a negative asset. As for Tim Hardaway, if he's hitting his shots, he's such a valuable asset to this Nuggets team. Completely kept them in, shooting the ball so efficiently. but it came down to an isolation with Shea, and he hit a nasty, nasty step back three. And also, SGA officially passed Wilt Chamberlain. Yes, you heard me correct. Wilt Chamberlain. Of 126 consecutive games with 20 plus points. Isn't that incredible? 126 straight games of 20 plus points in an NBA game. You guys want to talk about the consistency, the high-end talent, averaging 31.7, 4, and 7. I mean, there's no better scorer in basketball right now, in my opinion. I don't think there's a better score, pure score of the basketball than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's having one of the greatest peaks in NBA history from the guard position over the past 2 years. Not only that, he got the ball with 4 seconds left, hit a nasty step back three that gave him 35, 15, and 9. Mind you, by the way, I don't know if you guys are seeing the stat line. 15 assists, 0 turnovers. The Thunder against the Nuggets only committed 3 total turnovers. Now, mind you, this makes me feel almost better about the Nuggets because there's not going to be many games that the Thunder only have 3 total turnovers in an entire game and only win by a game winner by Shea. Jokic dropping 32, 14, and 13. I mean, you know how dominant he is. But it makes me so excited for what the Western Conference playoffs could look like. This game felt so playoff energy between A.J. Mitchell off the bench just bringing such great minutes to Jared McCain continuing to look better and better in his off-ball minutes with the Oklahoma City Thunder, to Tim Hardaway Jr. being a valuable asset, Jokic's great minutes. I mean, all of the above is just so cool what we're seeing. This is such a great series. I want to see another 7-game series between the two of them because it would be amazing. And even with Cat dropping 35, 12, and 7, it did not matter. And Brunson dropping 28 and 8. The Clippers defend their home court in a 8-point win over the Knicks. This was the first time that I felt like the Clippers had their full real team after they've made all those moves at the trade deadline between Darius Garland running the point guard, 23 and 7, by the way, looked fantastic in the James Harden role. Who would have thought, though? Tyronn Lue can make a point guard, like can develop a point guard. Like, we've seen this. We've known this can be the case. So, like, it doesn't surprise me to see Darius Garland having really good minutes for the Clippers. Benedict Mathurin off the bench, just being a scorer. That's his role off the bench. Be a scorer. 36 minutes played, actually the most minutes of the night for the Clippers. 28 points on 50% shooting, 7 rebounds. Really efficient game for Benedict Mathurin. Was super impressed with what I saw from him. Kawhi, 29, 7, and 8. I mean, I will continue to say it. I can't believe Kawhi's not a contending team, but plus 26 plus minus tells you all you need to know. When they were running that lineup of DG the PG, Chris Dunn, Benedict Mathurin, Kawhi Leonard, and Brook Lopez, and if it was Chris Dunn or Derrick Jones Jr. as that defensive wing, both of them are really showing their defensive cards. I was super impressed with the late game defense, the fourth quarter defense from the Clippers in this one. But specifically, really, they hammered this game down in that second quarter with a 5-point lead. They really won basically every quarter. This game was very close, but it continues to show, guys, that bench production for the New York Knicks is just not there. Jose Alvarado, 8 minutes, terrible minutes out of Jose Alvarado. Landry Shamet, 3 of 12 from the field, 3 of 12 from 3. That recipe is not a success if you're trying to have your players come off the bench and give you valuable minutes. Jordan Clarkson not being able to fit in this one. Diawara and Hukporti trying to find their role in this one. The problem is when you have the IQ coaching of Ty Lue, Jeff Van Gundy, and Kawhi, and Darius Garland running with the basketball, these guys don't have as much of an impact. They just don't find their roles as much because they're not active. They're not as active defensively. They're not getting their open shots as much. You know, they let Cat do what he wanted. 13 of 17, 35 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists. It was a great game for Cat. But once again, Cat's not the recipe for success. I've been saying it all season long, and the Knicks are really struggling as they go on a couple-game losing streak. They lost 3 of their last 4 to Western Conference teams. Outside of that big-time win against the Knicks that they just absolutely dominated a hurt Nuggets team, just haven't loved what I've seen out of the New York Knicks in the past couple weeks, and I could really see them continuing to slip. As for tonight's game, I'm really excited. The Celtics have their best 2 games coming up of the season, in my opinion. They play the Spurs tonight at 8 o'clock, and then I believe it is Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. Thursday, they go against, the Oklahoma City Thunder at 9:30. So these are going to be a really couple exciting days for the Spurs, Thunder, Celtics. Um, to really see where these Western Conference teams match up against each other. Now, obviously, health and situations all matter going into this, but I'm super excited for this upcoming week of basketball. We have a lot of really exciting matchups, playoff-bound matchups, that I just think are going to turn out to be really exciting games. Like this Celtics-Spurs game. I mean, with Celtics on a run with Brown and Tatum back, and then the Spurs being on the run that they've been on with Wemby and Castle and Fox playing probably the best basketball of his season so far. So excited for tonight's game. 8 o'clock, Celtics-Spurs is going to be a really good one. And even then, Timberwolves-Lakers. Anthony Edwards versus Luka is always such an exciting matchup to watch. Can't wait to see how the others do. The Julius Randles, Naz Reeds, Austin Reeves, DeAndre Aytons. I can't wait to see how the others impact this. That's why I have Minnesota winning. I've got Minnesota and I've got San Antonio, but I'm interested to see if either of the two teams, the Lakers or the Celtics, could upset. That's me and my basketball talk of the day. Just talking about where we are in the standings. Let's see if the playoffs started right now, what would the matchups look like? It would be Detroit against the winner of the play-in, whether it's Charlotte, Atlanta, or Philly. I think Miami's the clear best team out of all of those, other than maybe Charlotte if they continue on their hot streak. But I could see Boston, Miami being a good series. Cleveland, Toronto, I think it would be a very underrated series. Whoever ends up as this 4 seed between the Knicks and Cavs, Toronto's not going to be a walkthrough in that first round. They're going to challenge you. And then if you have to see like Detroit in the second round, that's going to wear and tear you. So as for the Western Conference, I can't lie, until Steph Curry comes back, I really don't have faith in my Warriors even securing the 8 seed over the Clippers or the Suns. But I think the Thunder and the Spurs are the clear top 2 teams in the West. Minnesota, I was saying it like 2 weeks ago. If you guys watch my videos, I was saying Minnesota is the 3rd best team out West. Maybe the 4th if you put Denver ahead of them. But Minnesota has jumped up in the standings to 3rd, and Denver has fallen to 6th. It's kind of written in the stars right now, looking like these are going to be your middle tier Timberwolves, Rockets, Lakers, and Nuggets. It really just depends on who gets the 3, 4, 5, and 6. Who's going to get home court advantage in Game 7s between the Timberwolves, Rockets, Lakers, and Nuggets. In all honesty, how do I expect it to go? I think I expect the Rockets to stay pretty put. The Timberwolves might have a little drop-off. They tend to have that little end of regular season drop-off, and I could see the Nuggets climbing up now that Aaron Gordon's back and they're finally getting their full lineup back. I could see the Nuggets jumping up to the 4 seed, maybe Timberwolves 3, Rockets 5, and Lakers 6, I think will be my final prediction. But Phoenix is definitely staying at 7. I see the Clippers staying at 8, and Warriors got to go on the road to win a playing game, unfortunately. But that's kind of where we're at in the NBA right now, heading into the ending, or the middle, I guess, of March. We're going to get a really exciting couple days of basketball with the Spurs, Celtics, Thunder, Nuggets, Pistons all kind of playing each other this week. So we get to test out who can beat the best teams and who cannot beat the best teams heading into the playoffs.